you wanted the best, you've got the best podcast, the hottest podcast in the world. The Chris Voss Show, the preeminent podcast with guests so smart you may experience serious brain bleed. The CEOs, authors, thought leaders, visionaries, and motivators. Get ready. Strap yourself in. Keep your hands, arms, and legs inside the vehicle at all times, because you're about to go on a monster education roller coaster with your brain. Now, here's your host, Chris Voss.
Hi, folks. It's Voss here from theChrisVossShow.com. Ladies and gentlemen, there since that makes it official. Welcome to the show. We certainly appreciate it. As always, the Chris Voss Show is the family that loves you but doesn't judge you. We just welcome you with open arms, as long as you're not evil, completely evil. And we just hope that you go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss. Chris Voss, one of the TikTok and all those other crazy places on the internet. We have an amazing young man on the show today. We always have the most amazing folks and authors on the show, so that's another reason for the show as well. He's the author of the newest book that just came out June 17th, 2024. It's called Playing the Wealth Game: The Strategies Behind Financial Moves That Win. Freddie Rappina is on the show with us today. We'll be talking about his insights and how he can help you play the wealth game better. God, that was an easy layup. Freddie spent years building extensive experience and qualifications, including becoming a chartered financial consultant, accredited investment fiduciary, and he does retirement income planning specialist and chartered life underwriter. I think he's saying that he became all those things, is what he's saying, if I'm reading the Bible. I need to learn to read, clearly. He also, I flunked second grade. He also amassed a comprehensive set of certifications, including Series 7, Series 63, Series 65, Series 22, and Series 6 registrations. Bet he doesn't have a Series 89. I just made that up. So
that's my next one.
This education experience has given him the skills to conduct thorough assessments of his clients' financial situations and craft tailored recommendations to optimize their wealth management strategies. Welcome to the show, Freddie. How are you?
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Chris. Great.
There's a lot of trademarks there in your bio. A lot of teams.
Yeah. I kind of collect them. It keeps me on the treadmill. That's like my main, reason for doing like the next one. It's something that keeps me studying, keeps me up to date, and keeps me on the treadmill.
I didn't even know there was a Series 22. What is that for?
Yeah. Oh, that one is oil and gas. Yeah, oil and gas investments.
For investments. I didn't even know there was one for that.
Yeah, direct participation.
Freddie, give us your .coms. Where do you want people to find you on the interwebs?
Optifinancial.com. That's the firm's website. In the top right-hand corner, anybody can schedule a complimentary consultation. Playingthewealthgame.com is the landing page for the book, or you can just go to Amazon or Barnes and Nobles or wherever for the book. I think Amazon
books are sold.
The number one. What's that?
Wherever fine books are sold is what we always say on the show.
Yeah.
So give us a 30,000 overview. What's in your new book?
All right. So I wanted to write a book that would kind of, be a self-discovery book for people in finance, because when it comes to finance, there's a lot of noise out there. There's a lot of suggestions, a lot of things. And I didn't want to say something was right or wrong, but I wanted to explain the two different games that are going on in finance right now, personal finance. Mm-hmm. So I've likened it to checkers and chess. What I'm saying is that the middle class has been force-fed, almost waterboarded checkers for so many years. And I don't say there's anything wrong with checkers. And if you're going to play checkers, I want you to play a darn good checkers game. I want you to be very good at checkers. Nothing sucks more in the United States than being a bad checkers player. You'll get your butt whooped by capitalism. But I also wanted people to understand that is not chess. And the wealthy are playing chess. And that has a completely different set of strategies. And by the end of the book, you should know whether you are a checkers player or if you're a chess player or if you want to switch. And I don't, like I said, I don't think there's anything wrong with checkers. That you just won't become wealthy, in my opinion, playing checkers.
You've made us lose our whole checkers audience contingency.
If you're going to play checkers, like I said, play will have no debt.
Didn't you know that 25% of the Chris Voss Show podcast audience is checker lovers?
Checker lovers. It's just for analogy purposes, of course.
We got it. Yeah. You wrote. What made you want to write the book? What was the proponent? I think you kind of alluded to a little bit, but was there a moment that you went, I'm writing a damn book on this. I'm sick of it and I'm over it.
Yeah. When I was younger, I got around a lot of wealthy people, and I was in my early 20s, and I realized that they were playing a different game. You go through all the search, you go through all the designations, you go through all the financial planning classes and everything else, and it's just constantly checkers. And it's okay, but this is not what they're doing. This is not what and when I say they, I don't mean just people. I mean corporations. I mean municipalities, governments. Like this is I felt like there was almost like a paternalistic element to the financial world right now. And I don't say that, believe me, it comes from a scammy point of view. Like they're trying to scam you over. I believe it's honest, like from chess would be too hard for you. This is not you. It's too risky. You wouldn't do it. You would fail. Leave it to the adults type. Just keep funding those 401ks and giving us all your money, and and trust that we're gonna take care of you in 30 years. We'll give you your golden wheelchair, and it would, And I'm like, that's not how you build wealth. But but you can be happy playing checkers. You can retire playing checkers. Those things are possible. So I don't want to totally discredit it, but
totally
they're not playing checkers.
But it's very true. They play at a different level. They have different tax. What's the right word? Tax. I don't want to say tax avoidance. Tax strategies, basically.
Yeah. Well, tax avoidance is good and legal. You want to do that. Tax evasion is bad, illegal. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Do that. Tax avoidance is using the tax code to your advantage and basically doing what the government wants you to do. That is key. You can look at all those tax rules as the government asking you to do something. And if you do those things, they will give you a tax break. If you don't do those things, it's a free country, free will. They're not going to tell you how to spend your money, but then they're going to have to tax you more heavily so they can build roads, bridges, schools, hospitals, and everything else, because that's what they need to do with the money. If you use that tax code to your advantage and it's available for everyone, may have to switch your mindset a little bit, then that it can totally be in your favor. So
rich people play at a different game, and I know that you mentioned the paternal aspect of it. One of the things is they not only does their family have wealth, but they have knowledge, right, of how to do different vehicles like trusts and different ways to protect or set up money or to move money, even through legal offshore stuff. I guess there's technically legal offshore stuff. There's all sorts of different ways. And your thesis is that people can tap into those. They don't have to be high rollers. They don't have to be,
not at all
money bucks max.
No, they need to have a mindset change, likely.
So it's a mindset.
But yeah, so I want you to think about, Chris, what's your sport? What's your favorite sport?
The Raiders, NFL, football, and
NFL.
Losing every season.
Okay, so the NFL and Pop Warner are both football games, right?
Yeah.
And the strategies that are being taught, the techniques that are being taught to kids 9, 10 years old playing Pop Warner football are the same techniques and strategies that the Raiders are using.
Okay.
The scale is completely different. Keep the faith. Keep the faith.
That explains everything now, damn it. The last 20 years.
But the strategy is the same. The scale is different. The expectations are different. But some of the rules might be a little bit different, but it's not a different game. Unfortunately, in finance, there's two totally different games, right? Two totally different strategies. And to make it to the NFL, you won't be able to make it if you're playing a totally different game, right? Yeah. So people need to think about it as, okay, I'm playing Little League, and then I'm playing high school, and I'm playing college, pro, then majors, whatever. So there's scalable aspects to this, but it doesn't take a whole lot more to be a whole lot better than where you are now. Yeah. It doesn't take billions of dollars. It's almost amazing what, just a little bit of a change and a little bit of a mindset shift can really do for somebody and point them in the right direction.
And part of it's just having that knowledge basis, right? I mean, it's these guys that have generational wealth. They've been dealing with high-end financial planners all their life. They know what to do with the money and how to pack it. And, you just got to be just as smart. So people should read your book, darn it.
Thanks. I definitely appreciate you plugging the book. Yeah. It really comes down to mindset and saying, okay, what are they doing? And keeping your eyes open and just don't drink the Kool-Aid all the time, right? Yeah. Look around. Look at what the corporations are doing, not just what they're selling. I live in Tampa, and luckily I have power, so maybe we'll be on the show today. But we're definitely one of the more fortunate ones here in Tampa right now. But if on a normal day, if I went down to the boat show here in Tampa and I walked up to somebody with a $25 million yacht and said, hey, man, how'd you afford this $25 million yacht? This is awesome. They're not going to respond with, I fully funded my IRA. I bought a well-diversified mutual fund. Or I bought a guaranteed insurance product with X% and saved in it for a bazillion years. And now I have this yacht. Like, those aren't the answers, right? But unfortunately, again, the middle class has been so force-fed checkers that they don't look around and say, okay, what are they actually doing? Mm-hmm. And so, like, you look at investment companies that sell mutual funds, right? What are they doing with the money? Are they just sitting around and waiting 30 years for compound interest? Or are they actively investing to build cash flow now for themselves and their company? That's the key. If you look at what they're doing, look at a bank. Does a bank just sit on all the money? No. Insurance companies, my goodness, if you just need an example that is like eye-opening, all you have to do is look at life insurance companies. Three biggest life insurance companies in the world, which are Northwestern Mutual, New York Life, and Mass Mutual, all had great years in 2020, 2021, and 2022. Chris, how in the hell can life insurance companies have their best years during a global life-threatening pandemic? What they insure is life. Life is dying. CNN's got a scoreboard on every night on how people died of COVID. And I'm not saying they did anything wrong. It's the contrary. I'm saying they're doing things right. I'm just saying they're not doing what average families are doing, again, on a smaller scale.
Yeah. I mean, plus most people, you see the shit they buy. One of my favorite things to do is watch, there's these accountant type people, I don't know if they're really accountants, on TikTok, and then there's there's a couple car dealers who are shady car dealers. I shouldn't say they're shady, I don't really know that for a fact, but let's just say they're putting people in $2,000 car payments for 20 years amortization, and these are like used cars that have probably been rolled over a few times. And like I'll see, like the one guy, he goes through people's finances and their spending, and some of their spending is like crazy. Like I still can't put my head around having a payment bigger than $1,000 for a vehicle, unless it's like a race, it's like a Porsche or a BMW or something really nice. But even $150,000 for a pickup truck, give me a fucking break. I'm not doing that. But I see all these people now, they have $1,500 car payments on everything. And they're like, we can't afford to buy houses. I'm like, yeah, I know why.
A question you might want to ask, Chris, is how can you afford a $150,000 car and can't afford a $150,000 property?
Yeah.
Why is it so easy to get the car loan and so difficult to get the mortgage?
Yeah. Just own a shitbox. You don't need the 2024 fucking whatever, man.
I personally agree.
Yeah.
But what I want people to focus on is building income. Like income is the name of the game. Cash flow is the name of the game. If you want to put yourself in a position where you're gonna be, want that $100,000 car, I want to know what asset are you going to buy first that is going to create the income to pay the payment for that $100,000 car. What asset are you going to use to cover the liability, which is the car? I don't want people just saving money for saving money's sake, not enjoy their lives. Of course, they gotta be within their means, right? But whatever. But what's not said enough, in my opinion, is make more means. Figure out ways to create more income, not just try to save your way to wealth. That doesn't work. Saving money sucks. It's I'm not saying it's not a part of the equation. I'm just saying it's not the equation. So saving money is great, but how are you going to build income with that? Yeah. If you are able to take out a loan to buy a cash flowing asset, and the reason why you can take out the loan is because you have savings, you have money, right? So the lender's looking at you as a good bet, and you use the lender's money to purchase an asset, maybe a piece of real estate, a rental property, maybe a business, something that's going to cash flow. Then some of that money, maybe want to go back in the savings pot, and some of it you probably want to enjoy your life with it while you're still young enough and healthy enough to do it. Yeah. So that's things that I'm bringing forth are this. I think this just needed to be said by a wealth advisor like myself, who's willing to kind of buck the trend of everything. Just saying this, the whole saving for the one day thing, right? One day you'll graduate high school. One day you'll graduate college. One day you'll get a job. One day you'll retire. It's like all this one day stuff. How about we figure out ways to make it sooner than that instead of the one day thing?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Do you recommend people set up trusts or life insurance policies and then loan themselves money out of the life insurance policies? Do you get any of that stuff?
Okay, so trust can be great. It's private. Doesn't your assets don't go through probate, and there's a lot of pros and cons to everything. As far as that life insurance comment, I'll just say that it takes a lot of money to do that correctly, right? Mm-hmm. If you're not going to be able to save your way into those types of strategies, those strategies come with being able to, when you have a lot of money and you put it into those types of vehicles and you immediately borrow it out and you purchase an asset that's going to pay yourself back, yourself being the loan of the policy. Not to go too deep into those strategies, but that's not like an average Joe's strategy to be able to build wealth. But unfortunately, there's a lot of crappy insurance salesmen running around trying to sell that strategy. This is what the rich do. I'm like, yeah, some, I guess, some, but it's not it's not a life hack. Let's put it like that.
It's not a life hack, people. No.
But I'm not going to walk up to the Rockefellers and say, you guys are stupid for doing this. I mean, that's not they're sixth generation strong now doing it.
It's crazy. As we go out, what do you want people to come away with after they read your book? I think we've kind of discussed a little bit, but to give us a final pitch out to people to order up your book and .coms. Actually, we need to get into, I'm sorry, I'm cutting a little too early here. Tell us about some of the things we can find at Opta Financial, some of the services you provide, how people can reach out, how they can onboard with you, schedule a consultation, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, we want to work with chess players. We want to work with people who want to become wealthy. Not that they have to be wealthy already yet, but they have to have that want. All right, and you have to have some means already, but you have to be working towards those goals. And if people are just kind of sick of hearing their financial advisor or whomever keep trying to talk them out of purchasing cash flowing assets such as real estate, such as businesses, and just stick with the market. Oh, this is one of my favorite lines. You're in it for the long haul. Like when advisors say that, it makes me cringe, because who's not in it for the long haul? Who? Absolutely everybody you give your money to is not in it for the long haul. They're only telling you to be in it for the long haul. They're looking to build cash flow now. Just people who are ready to have a different type of advisor, different type of wealth advisor, and that's going to help them build something. Yeah, that's what the people we love working with.
Do they need to be accredited? Do they need to have a minimum portfolio investment? Or
we're we're a mindset. The mindset's the minimum, but we have lower fees than a lot of firms out there. We charge 0.6% for assets under management. The typical fee is 1%. So that 0.6% actually has to be of something for our advisors to be able to work with somebody. But yeah, we of course like working with accredited investors because they're able to do, more things, right? They're able to get into more investments and do more things. But if someone is not quite there yet, but looks like they're going to be there, we can work with that person too.
Thank you very much for coming on the show. Give us a final pitch out as we go out, and .coms where people can find you on the interwebs.
Well, like I said, optifinancial.com, or if you just want to read the book and learn a little bit more about me and the firm, playingthewealthgame.com. Looks like this if you're watching the video. Mm-hmm. And have an open mind. You're gonna hear something different. You're gonna hear something fresh. And I think it just took a retired police officer to come out and say it out loud.
Wow. It's going to be interesting. Yeah, people need to learn. Don't waste your money on rims and $250. What are those stupid drink cups all the women collect?
Oh, Stanley's.
The Stanley cups. I've seen women. 100 variations of them or something. Mm-hmm. You're just like, is that your retirement program?
I guarantee it's theirs.
Kind of reminds me of when people used to buy those. Remember those $5 little squishy toys? They were like little animals. And there was something else. They were capped at $5 for the longest time, and they're still around. But they were like the hottest thing to collect. I don't know, back in the 2000s or 90s or something. But everyone bought them and paid ridiculous prices, and then the bottom fell out. It's like you invested in basically little animal dolls. Good job.
Yeah. But investing in those dolls, if they don't cash flow, it's probably not going to be a good investment.
Probably not. I remember one time I was sitting in my NASDAQ fund during the .com era, just making all sorts of money hand over fist. You just wake up every morning, invest in whatever the crazy tech was to come online, Earthlink, all those companies that are huge now. And I went to my business partner and I go, hey man, why aren't you doing this with me? Because you make the same money I do. Why aren't you playing on the stock market? And he goes, I bought Franklin plates. I'm like, what? And do you remember the old Franklin plates? They used to have an ad on the back of just about every magazine, I think. But they're these like memorial Patriot plates,
No, don't recall those.
And he bought like hundreds of them for an investor. I'm just like, fucking.
Hopefully other people broke their plates. This way they're more scarce right now, which increases the value of his plates.
Threw them out.
Or he's the one that broke the plates.
Probably eventually, yeah. Anyway, thank you very much for coming to the show. We really appreciate it, Freddie. Thank you.
No problem, Chris. Thank you for having me.
And thanks so much for tuning in. Go to goodreads.com/Chris Voss, LinkedIn.com/Chris Voss, all those crazy places on the internet. Be good to each other. Stay safe. We'll see you next time. And that should have us up.